Assalamualaikum and a good day everyone. Today I would like to talk about my research topic which is the efficacy of learning English through reading English storybooks among primary school students in Terengganu. But I will only focus on the research methodology that I am using while conducting this research. Firstly is the content outline. In this video, I will explain about the research approach, research design, sample, data collection, data analysis procedure, and also analytical approach. Firstly, the research approach. For this research, I am using a quantitative approach. It focuses on collecting numerical data to analyze and draw conclusions. I believe this approach allows for the measurement of the efficiency of learning English through reading storybooks among primary school students in Terengganu in a systematic and objective manner. Moving on to the second one, which is the research design. The research design that I am using for this study is a pre-test and post-test design, which is a three-step design, which is first administer a pre-test, and the second to administer the treatment or variables, and the third step is to administer a post-test. And for this test, I need to just like I said, administer a pre-test to a group of primary school students and record their scores. And next, I will provide the student with some appropriate reading materials such as English storybooks for them to read in the span of 1 month. And lastly, I will administer a post-test to the same group of students and record their scores. I will later analyze the difference of their scores between the pre-test and post-test. Moving on to the data collection and sample, the test scores of primary school students from both pre-test and post-test will be analyzed and recorded. For the pre-test, administer a standardized English language proficiency test to all participating students before the intervention. Intervention here is me giving them English storybooks to read in hope to improve their English language proficiency. And lastly, conduct the same English language proficiency administered in the pre-test to all students after the intervention. This will measure any improvement that they have in their English language skill. The time span that I will give them to read and improve their English is just 1 month, between 1st of October to 1st of November 2023. Next, moving on to the data collection procedure. To collect the necessary data, I will use the following methods, which is paired t-test. It is a method used to test whether the mean difference between pairs of measurements is zero or not. It is widely used to determine if there is any significant difference in the English language proficiency scores of the primary school students before and after the intervention, which is reading English storybooks. The paired t-test. Okay, the steps for paired t-test. First is the hypothesis. Null hypothesis means there is no significant difference in the mean English language proficiency scores before and after the intervention. Next is the alternative hypothesis, means there is a significant difference in the mean English language proficiency scores before and after the intervention. For the data preparation, each participant would have their pre-test score and their post-test score calculated to find the difference between the two. And for the assumptions, there are 3 assumptions that I can use for this paired t-test. The first one is the difference between the pre-test and post-test are normally distributed. Secondly, the difference are independent and identically distributed. And the last one is the difference have a constant variance. For the calculation, the paired t-test calculates the t-value which indicates the magnitude of the difference between the means and of the paired samples relative to the variables within the samples. It takes into account the mean difference, standard deviation of differences, and the sample size. And lastly is the interpretation. Once the t-value is calculated, when I have that number, it can be compared to a critical value from the t-distribution table, or just calculate the p-value. If the calculated t-value exceeds the critical value, then the null hypothesis is rejected, and it can be conducted that there is a and it can be concluded that there is a significant difference in the main English language proficiency scores before and after the intervention, which means I can conclude that the reading English storybooks significantly improve their language proficiency. And for the analytical approach, the analytical approach for this research will involve interpreting statistical findings and drawing meaningful conclusions. The results of the data analysis should be discussed in relation to the research objective and previous literature. The researcher which is me, should highlight the significance of the findings and discuss implications for educational practice, curriculum development, and also future research. That's all from me. Thank you.